On July 1st of 2023, Damian Lillard had finally requested a trade from the Portland Trail Blazers. 769 games played in Portland over 11 seasons in the NBA, and Dame's time has finally run out. Lillard jumped on the Back on Fig show last night to publicly clarify why he's moving on.
It's a way that you have to, go about things where you can't be an idiot, You say, I want to, I'm going to stay down, I'm going to ride till the wheels fall off and all that stuff. I don't have to prove that to nobody. Like, I've shown it, I mean that in my heart, but like, me and you don't want the same thing no more, and you showing me that you don't want the same thing, we don't want the same thing.
The caveat of the trade request is that Dame has specifically requested one team and one team only, and that's the Miami Heat. Dame's demands have been met with a lot of pushback, as the NBA issued a memo at the end of July that was directly pointed at Damian Lillard and his agent Aaron Goodwin, as they alluded to the possibility of Lillard holding out if he were to be traded to any team besides Miami. Since the end of July, it has been a standoff between Miami and Portland, with NBA players starting to report to their teams on September 26th, and the NBA training camp starting to open up on October 3rd. There's a good chance this trade might not happen before the start of the season. If this bleeds into the start of the NBA season, this presents a huge problem for not only Damian Lillard, but the Miami Heat as well. It is extremely uncommon for a player of Lillard's caliber to be traded mid-season and for that same team to win an NBA championship. Some prime examples in just the last couple of years are James Harden being traded to Brooklyn in 2021, James Harden being traded again to Philly in 2022, and Kevin Durant being traded to Phoenix just last season. All three of those teams ended in second-round exits. It is really hard to assimilate a superstar type of player into a team after the season starts because there's far less practices in between games, which just means less opportunities for the roster to gel, as well as a lot of roster turnover included in the deal for the team that's acquiring the star. When you factor in the age of the two potential co-stars, with Damian Lillard just turning 33 a couple months ago and Jimmy Butler just turning 34 a couple days ago, you're already looking at a very limited window of contention for Miami if they get this trade done. Miami is very clearly suited for contention with Bam and Jimmy as their cornerstone players, just coming off a championship appearance, but the roster has lost some key contributors in Gabe Vincent and Max Strus. The Heat are in a holding pattern when it comes to acquiring new role player depth until the Lillard trade gets done, and because of that, they're losing out on potential free agent pieces. For example, just yesterday, Kelly Oubre Jr. signs with the Philadelphia 76ers for the minimum. Oubre certainly isn't a perfect player, but Miami misses out on a rotation guy because they couldn't get the deal done. If they got the deal done on July 1st, which was the beginning of free agency, there would have been a great chance that a lot of free agents would have looked to sign 1-year ring chaser deals to play with Dame, Jimmy, and Bam. If you have Dame, Jimmy, and Bam on the same team, you're looking at probably the best team in the East, if not the best team in the entire NBA. If a free agent was coming into the summer knowing they can go play with that versus maybe where else they already signed, there's a good chance they're going to go to Miami. But because the Miami deal wasn't done, why would a free agent sign with the Heat for the possibility of maybe playing with this team when they could have maybe put themselves in a better situation, which they decided to do, whatever case that may be? The latest reporting that we have on a potential Miami Heat offer for Damian Lillard was from July 31st, where Shams reported that the said offer would include 3 to 4 first-round picks, pick swaps, second-round picks, and a young player, which could only mean Nikola Jovic or Jaime Jaquez Jr. Tyler Hero would also be a part of the trade package, but he's going to a third team as Portland has no interest in acquiring Tyler Hero. Brian Windhorst recently spoke on his own show talking about how Joe Cronin and the Blazers front office are handling trade negotiations with Miami.
That what the Blazers want if they're dealing with one team, if it is Miami or nothing. They want what the Nets got from the Suns, which is the Suns literally scrounging.
But they're just not getting that.
I understand that, and a year ago, right now, the Nets weren't getting it from the Suns, whatever initial talks that they had. But the concept is that they want the Heat to literally scrounge into every nook and cranny and produce everything they possibly can.
It's truly hard to say what Joe Cronin really wants from Miami, because at this point in time, it's all rumors and conjecture as far as what Miami is offering. If Miami is offering for first, Jaime Jaquez, Nikola Jovic, and Tyler Hero, and the Blazers say no, I'm not sure there's much else they can do. Until there is a market for Dame including other teams, there's no way for Portland to fairly evaluate Miami's offer. The big issue with this for Miami though is that Portland does not need to move Damian Lillard anytime soon. Lillard is under contract for the next 4 seasons, which gives Portland leverage. Any draft assets Portland acquires from Miami wouldn't be usable until at least 2026, and I don't see Jaime Jaquez or Nikola Jovic being day one stars for Portland with the way their roster is currently constructed. This means the Blazers can sit on their hands for as long as they want, and at the end of all of this is Damian Lillard just waiting around, likely the biggest loser of all parties in this situation. It's hard to feel bad though, simply because of the way he and his agent have handled the trade request. I don't really think many people can blame Lillard for wanting out of Portland. It seemed pretty clear this summer after keeping the 3rd pick and drafting Scoot Henderson that the Blazers have no actual interest in fielding a competitive roster, and given the climate of the Western Conference right now, I actually think that was the proper decision for Portland to make. The issue lies with Lillard and Goodwin using the media to dictate the market with their demands for Miami. If Lillard and his agent played it differently in the public eye, at least giving the illusion that other teams had the chance, there's a really good chance he could have gotten what he wanted anyway, and that's a trade to Miami. With very little reporting lately about the potential move for Damian Lillard to Miami, as well as the NBA season starting in just over a month, I have a hard time seeing that Damian Lillard is going to be in a Miami Heat jersey anytime soon.